Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you the team strategy and team order I use to defeat the epic trials of Vulpacea. You can go 3 times nicer in this, as many as you've got to boost up the power of your team. Right, let's jump into this. Level 350, the last one. The team we've been given is a little bit strange because it's kind of a bit of a lesson in how not to create a team regarding synergy. Like, the main troop in our team by an absolute mile is Todd Greenwood, dealing damage to an enemy, then creates 3 green gems boosted by Wargear allies. So to get the most reliability and create the most green, you need to have all Wargear troops in your team. They all need to be Wargear. Really does help with that. Starts battles with 25% mana, which is really cool. That's why we don't need the Medal of Anu with this, because this is our main troop. And he starts with 25%, but all Wargear allies. So the top troop is Wargear, good. Harper is Wargear, good. But Red Fox isn't, which is a little bit daft, but never mind, it's there. We have to deal with it. And it's pretty much useless. I haven't even cast this thing once. It just sits there at the bottom, wondering why it even exists in this team. Because even when it's ready to cast, we're not going to bother casting it because there's just pretty much never going to be a need to. So Red Fox sitting there wondering why it's there. So the other team members, Harper, spells okay, gives magic +1 life to all allies, or give all other allies half their mana. That's not half their remaining mana, by the way, that is half their total mana. So if we cast it on Todd Greenwood, it would get 6 mana, even if it was on like 8 mana, so it would get enough to get fully charged. That's an important thing to know. But the strange thing about Harper is, like, bearing in mind we want a lot of green because of Todd Greenwood, is Harper summons a Dark Storm at the start of battle, which is purple. She gains bonus purple, fair enough, but starting a Dark Storm when you want a reliable source of green is a bit daft, but it should still work anyway. Don't worry about it too much. And then we have Vulpacea Hunter at the top. Choose one. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by blue gems, that's true damage, boosted by blue gems, or deal the same amount of damage but splash damage, again, boosted by blue gems. So we create loads of green with this one and want it to loop, but we start with a Dark Storm, which is purple, and we get a boost by blue. It's like, you couldn't almost make it up how bad that is synergy-wise. The only good thing synergy-wise about this is gain 3 mana when matching 4 or more gems, but even that's kind of wasted because we're not going to cast it. Even if it got ready to cast, there's no point casting it. You're still better off just looping with Todd Greenwood, because if you cast with this and even choose the splash damage option to do damage to multiple opponents, you're handing the turn back to the opponent, which you don't really want to do. So it's just going to be looping Todd again and again and again. Regarding the enemy, we're going to start on a Void Caller first. This thing can be a bit of a pain, converting a purple gem to a lycanthropy gem when my turn begins. That'd be a bit annoying if that happened, especially to our Todd, which in that case that happens, you may as well just start the trial again. And the spell is pretty good as well. Destroy all purple gems and deal, in my case, 120 damage to the first 2 enemies, or create 12 purple gems and deal 120 damage to the last 2 enemies. So, gonna get rid of them first, and then I'm going to get rid of Vulpine Watcher next. Creates 3 freeze gems and gain an extra turn. Don't want to be frozen on our team, especially on our colour that our Todd uses, because he relies on looping. Or steal magic +1 armour from a random enemy. Next we'll pick on a Fennec Mage. And last not least, we'll take out Harper. Right, so let's jump in and see how it does. 3 times nice for this, as much magic as you can muster to boost up the power of our Todd. Right, it's all about going loopy-doopy and just casting Todd. We're not even going to bother with anybody else. We may cast this sometimes to give life, or give half the mana to the rest of the team. Can be useful, that one. But what we got to start with? I suppose we can take some brown. We'll take that hit. Don't mind taking the odd hit here and there. 65% skull reduction damage. On these new lightning gems. Pretty interesting. The lightning one that's blue is going to go across the screen. As you collect it, it will zap across the screen and take out all these gems at the same time. If it was yellow, it would strike downwards. Just think of it as a yellow lightning is traditional lightning, which goes pachoing and fires downwards, and think of blue lightning as maybe electric lightning, which goes across. I don't know. Anyway, but we'll take that anyway because it's there and it's cool to use it. Right, let's get Todd rocking and rolling. May as well take these other matches when they're there, just to see if any more green drop down before we start casting our Todd. And just loop and loop and loop. But do take a look out for skull matches, which are a 4-match, because that is really handy to chip in with damage on that top troop, if you can. Or if you had a 4-match up here, for example, which gave you a skull match at the same time. That's a nice little way of doing it. Again, take things like that, because removing purple from the board may have some more drop down, but I'm just going to keep looping. Could have taken those matches at the top, those purple ones. You may get some random skull matches as well. Not too much strategy on this. If your top troop takes a couple of hits, you can cast this, give life to all allies. Pretty handy. Other than that, we are just going to keep on loopy dooping. Go loopy doopy. And you can play this a lot slower than this and look out for things like extra 4 matches and a match that will drop down onto a 4-match skull, things like that. But I'm just going with it with the pure loopy effect. I mean, notice that I didn't even use the option for this when I took out that bottom troop a minute ago. Could have done the splash damage option on their bottom troop there, which would have hit the troop above and below. But then we hand the turn back. It's just much better to just keep on looping. Like, it's pretty much about Todd, with Harper will stick in some extra life, maybe a little bit of mana now and again. Don't take things like that either. Much better to leave as much green on the board as you can. Gives Todd Spell a much better chance of looping. And now that purple storm has stopped from Harper, this is pretty much a game over, and really, really straightforward. It won't loop all the time because we are missing a Wargear, and even if you were a full Wargear team, it doesn't loop forever. It does miss sometimes. It kind of has to. There's the kind of match we're on about sometimes, if we see it there. Cheap, easy damage, and again. We'll take them when they're there. But this is probably the simplest epic trial so far. Super duper mega crazy straightforward. Let's keep on doing that. I'm watching the snooker while doing this. I'm not actually paying too much attention to the game. I can see it in my peripheral vision. I can see when the loop stops. But super straightforward. So there it is. There's the epic trials of Vulpacea. Easiest one so far. Absolute breeze. Make sure you do it. Grab that starry foxite pet as well if you fancy it. Why not? But there's a video. If you enjoyed it, found it useful and helpful, it'd be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching. Catch you again next time. Bye for now.